Someone asked me why I work out so much, and the reason is when I was about 22 years old, I had a friend, he was my boss, and he was 46 years old that day. And Arnold Schwarzenegger also was having his birthday, and he was 46. Now my friend was a good guy, I liked him, smoker, wasn't extremely healthy. He got around just fine, but I looked at him. I looked at his belly, actually. I looked at the way he looked as a 46-year-old man. And then I looked at the TV and I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger and looked at what he looked like at 46. And I decided then that I wasn't going to look like my friend. I didn't think I would probably end up looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I don't. But the way that I do look is something different. Something I'm probably more healthy, more physically fit than Arnold Schwarzenegger. I bet I could run farther than him. I'm 47 now. Well, actually, I'm 46. Tomorrow is my birthday. And I'll be 47. I don't have a big fat belly. I'm not even bald. That probably doesn't have anything to do with my working out. I can run probably about 6-7 miles without taking a break. I am lifting more weight than I ever have. I'm consistent on my performance and my physical fitness. I brush my teeth. Another form of maintenance that we have to do. I guess it all comes down to a series of choices in life. Some people make a series of choices that starts when they're about 21 to drink alcohol a lot. Spend a lot of time on the weekends when they're single, just going out and getting hammered and hanging out with friends and having a great time. I didn't do that. There was a couple times where I went out, but probably every year, maybe 6 or 7 times when I was a young guy. Maybe more than that, maybe like 10 times, but I mean, not. It wasn't that frequent. When I went out, when I go out to eat, most times I don't drink any kind of alcohol or anything. It's very rare that I do. I drink a lot of Diet Pepsi. But we can let ourselves deteriorate. We can let ourselves succumb to the forces of aging and nature and weather. We can do that. That's the easy thing to do. It's probably the fun thing to do. I bet a lot of my friends might watch this video and say, that right there, squatting 295, that does not look fun. That does not look like a fun way to spend my afternoon after I've finished a long day at work. But for me, it has become fun. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I don't want to do it anymore at all. Sometimes I get stuck. I get hurt physically. I've been in a health club and not drop a barbell, but lower a barbell on my chest and get stuck and have to get rescued by other guys. That was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. It hurt me emotionally. I was talking about that last night. We went out to dinner for my birthday. That time I stopped going back to the health club for a little while. I think that day I was bench pressing about 330 pounds. So I was going for something that was a little heavier for me. Actually, it's probably like the heaviest I've ever done. And I did do it. It was the 3rd repetition that I got stuck under. And I'll always remember that day, because there was like these powerlifter guys that were there, and I don't think they were paying attention to me. I always work out by myself. Even when I'm at a health club, I don't pay attention to everybody else. I mean, sometimes I look for the silly looking people, but I'm just lifting weights by myself, and these guys are over there deadlifting, something I never did. Hey, right there, I wanted to do that to show you the difference between a low bar and a high bar squat. So if you missed it, you have to rewind it. So I do low bar squats. So these big giant guys, these guys who've been deadlifting, I don't know how much weight they're doing, but I'd never done it. I never deadlifted. I've always bench pressed, and I didn't even do many squats. I skipped leg day for a long time. And they come and they rescue me. And I say thank you, and I act like it's, no big deal. And you know what? Now that I lift heavier weight and do full body and everything, I realize what I was doing at that moment when I was willing to try, and I was willing to accept defeat. Right then, that moment, that could have been a pivotal moment in my life. I could have never gone back to work out. I didn't have a home gym at the time, so for me to stop going to the health club meant that I was just not going to be lifting weights. I gave it up. Eventually, I got back on the horse. Obviously, I'm lifting weights now, and I've lifted weights consistently. I mean, I might have taken a few months off, but it was about embarrassment. It wasn't about, I wasn't hurt. We have to be willing to do the things that we can't in order to find out what we can do, find out where our limits are. And then once we find our limits, we have to be willing to push past those limits. Those limits are there for our breaking. Like every limit. I have a baby. She used to not be able to walk. Now we can't stop her from walking. We can't stop her from running. She is everywhere. She climbs up. She gets on the table, and she falls sometimes. Sometimes she falls, and when she does, that's not a good day for anybody. You feel bad. But you know what she doesn't do? She doesn't stop climbing. She doesn't stop running. She's pushing her limits and our limits every single day. If you go through life unwilling to push the limits on a daily basis, what a limited existence you will have. What a waste you will have had made of your life. To imagine to be 46 years old, to be unhealthy and incapable. Instead, I'm very healthy, I'm very capable, but it came with a choice when I was 22 on another man's 46th birthday. And this right here in front of you is a 46-year-old man. Where else are the limits in our lives? I used to know a guy, and I liked him a lot. I worked with him, and he was married to a woman, a perfectly nice woman. I liked her and him, and we went to barbecues and stuff, and but when she wasn't around, right there I hit the clip where the barbell sits at the end. When she wasn't around, he shared with me that he had multiple affairs on this woman. And I never could get it. Never understood how someone could let that happen. I mean, how could you have an affair? I knew one guy, different guy. He said that he told actually I knew the couple and I knew the woman better, but he told her that he had cheated on her because they'd been drinking and it just happened. And I'm like, how can cheating just happen? I mean, are you so out of touch with yourself that you're running like completely on autopilot? I mean, are you a human? A divine creature of the maker of the universe? Or are you essentially an ape? You know? I have drank. I've been around other women while drinking, and never have I felt a desire or, I don't know, any that I've never cheated. I've never felt like that, you know? So, I mean, I think a man can be a great man. I do believe that a man needs a wife to be the ultimate man that he can be. I think you have to be married to understand what being a man even is. And then when you have a wife, to just be really loyal to her. You know, spend your time thinking of ways to make her feel better about herself and about her choice to be with a stinky guy like you. You know, if you're a guy. I'm sure that could go to women too. You know, I've known a lot of women who they complain about their husbands and stuff, and you know, I don't think you should ever complain about your spouse to another human being. So the reason that I'm even doing this video is because last week I did the same workout, identical workout. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is today, on this day, I was trying to do 11 repetitions instead of last week. I was trying to do 10 repetitions, and on these rows, and 100-pound dumbbells are all I have, so I can't do anything heavier. So I have to do more repetitions until I'm able to buy some bigger ones. I'm pushing myself further than I went last week. You know, as Greg Doucette would say, I'm working out harder than I did last time. You know, I'm pushing a little bit harder. There's going to be 26 of these workouts of this particular day. This is my day 2 of my 4-day split. And each day on 26 weeks, I want to do just a little bit better than I did before. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see how far I come. I know that some days I'm not going to go as far as I did, or I'm not going to be able to get beyond where I went. I should be able to get about where I went the week before. But there's even been times where I've come to the health club and I can't do it. I mean, my workout, I think the one before this, I got stuck underneath the bar and I wasn't doing more weight than I did the time prior. So sometimes you slide backwards, but then wherever you slide to, that's your starting point. And next time, just work harder than you did that time. Get a little bit further than you did that time. It doesn't matter where that time was, whether that was the best you've ever done, or whether that's something crappy that happened and you had to slow back a little bit. You start over and you keep working towards just being a little bit better. I remember when I was doing this workout, I was getting really exhausted here. I was feeling very tired. You know, on the squats that I did at the beginning of the workout, I was doing 305, I think, on this time. That's because the workout before, I was doing 295, and I was able to hit 6 repetitions. Even once, I think I hit 7 repetitions. So I upped it to 305 for this workout. I think I hit 6 on one of the sets, and the rest of the sets were all 5, which is fine. I just know that I'm not going to increase by 10 pounds or 5. I'll probably use the fractional weights for my next workout, which is okay. I squat twice a week. So if I'm going up 2 pounds, in what, from one workout to the next workout, I'm not mad at myself. That's okay. I'm a little bit off this week too because I had a Tuesday we should have been a workout, and I should have had a rest on Wednesday, and I had to work out on Wednesday instead because my wife ran the van into the snowbank and I had to get it out for her. So that ate up my workout time. COVID-19 has not been a great thing, especially for somebody who's into fitness challenges and stuff. I did the Tough Mudder in 2019. It was my first time doing the Tough Mudder. I've done a lot of mud races, and I've done triathlons. Seems like triathlons have kind of gone out of style. I don't see a lot of those even planned anymore. The one in Janesville that I used to like to do every year, it was always in June. They canceled that one. So, I mean, they canceled that like in 2018, I think. So I haven't been able to do the triathlons, which is okay because I haven't been able to swim either. So swimming is always a tough part of the triathlon for me. The bike riding is always the worst. These guys can ride their bikes. They can do 15 miles in, I don't know, like 5-10 minutes. It takes me like 35-40 minutes to do 15 miles. I mean, and I feel like I'm going fast. I even bought myself a decent bike. I didn't buy myself like a $3,000 bike. I bought myself a $1,000 bike, but I can't see that it makes a difference. Mechanically, I must not be built for bike riding. I don't really enjoy bike riding that much anyways. Sometimes it's nice to go outside, but it just seems like it takes longer to get places when you're riding a bike than it does when you're driving a car, so I like that. Although for whatever reason, I like to run. The running is always, actually, I'm pretty decent on the running. Last time when I did Shrugs, I put my 100-pound dumbbells on my bench, and I have a pretty nice bench. I like my bench. It's a little higher up, so my legs don't have to be so bent, and so when I'm doing a bench press, my hips don't tend to fly up as much. But I put the 100-pound dumbbells on that bench, and the pad now has the 100 indent. It's still there. So I tried putting them on this mat for this workout. Just want to protect the floor. I built the weightlifting platform, and that's just a thin piece of wood on top. I never even finished it. I didn't stain it or anything, so I don't really want to gouge it up or anything because I don't really want to have to replace it. Plus, I use like a garbage ton of glue to put that down, so it'd be a real big pain in the butt to ever get it off of there and replace it with another thin piece of wood. So anyways, I was just thinking about, why do I work out? I guess it probably because my birthday is tomorrow, and it just makes you think, where are you? And then remembering that it was 46 is how old Arnold Schwarzenegger was on that day. I feel proud of where I'm at. And if you are just thinking about starting, you should start right away. So, thanks. Bye.